Who could have imagined that it was 180 years ago that a young man from Scotland, 28 years old, came to the shores of Algoa Bay here and started a progression that opened up Central Africa to the European world. David Livingstone was a 10-year-old boy in Scotland working in a cotton factory where after work he would go and study. He paid for himself to study medicine and theology to become a missionary, and he came to this place, Algoa Bay, Port Elizabeth, and began a 3-month journey to Kuruman. And he and other great explorers opened up the central map of Africa that had been an empty space for 2,000 years. They exposed the slave trade and captured the imagination of Europe to get involved with Christianity and commerce in Africa.
Our day of departure has finally come, quicker than we anticipated actually, but this is our farewell as we go out of Algoa Bay right now. Bye-bye to Port Elizabeth for 3 months. We're very excited now.
As the church family, about probably 30 people have come with us on the road out to Nanaka from Port Elizabeth, 20-30 k's, just to escort us. Complete surprise. And these are some of our friends who've taken time to do that, for which we're obviously very, very grateful. Let me get a picture of everyone. These are all the guys. Here we are on our second morning at the shores of Kalahari Dam. We spent the night in a disused slipway because we arrived in the dark, which we promised not to do, and the only reason we did that was because a group of our friends escorted us by surprise outside of Port Elizabeth to Nanaka, 30 kilometers away. It was fantastic and really encouraging. But we got here and we found this beautiful spot where we spent a lovely cozy night watching the sun come up. I heard a fish eagle a few moments ago, and this is the beauty of this place. Inside my caravan you're going to find a little elf come out in a moment, who provided a lovely pre-cooked soup meal. Where is she? There is she. There's a little elf that's come from the cave.
Didn't we get the most beautiful spot in the world?
We did.
Drove down a road and here it was. And it looked beautiful. We just caught the sun going down as it was getting dark very quickly. But look what we woke up to after a beautiful night's sleep.
Dam is on the Orange River, and I'm going to be talking a lot about rivers and lakes. And the Orange River is the 5th largest river in Africa and the largest in South Africa. It stretches from Lesotho all the way to the Atlantic coast, 2,500 kilometers. Its significance was that it was the first obstacle, obviously, that David Livingstone had to cross when he was proceeding to Kuruman in the northwest province. But it also provided the first barrier between the Dutch Boer trekkers who left in 1835 from the Cape to get beyond English control. Eventually became the Orange Free State. Now the Vaal River flows into the Orange River, and also Transvaal became another Boer republic. So rivers played a major importance in the history of this country, as in nearly every other country in Africa.
We've packed up and about to get going from our first and just incredibly beautiful stop. Here we are. Oh, and there's Rory looking at the map book. Day 1, first morning on the road, and we're lost already. We're driving in this little town called Fourie Smith and turn into it, and look, there's a railroad going right the way down the middle of the road. The main road, look, it's going to go through there.
Here we are at Kuruman, which is Robert Moffat's mission station, and is the first one that Livingstone came to from Algoa Bay. You ask why Kuruman? Well, he was trained in the London Missionary Society as a missionary doctor and wanted to go to China, but that was impossible. And he went to a lecture by Robert Moffat from South Africa, and Robert Moffat's story captured him and captured his imagination. The most important statement made by Robert Moffat, which caught his heart, was a statement that from this mission station he could see the smoke of 1,000 villages of people who'd never heard the gospel. And as a result, David Livingstone came to this mission station and was here for 4 years. He married Robert Moffat's daughter Mary, and he got frustrated after a time. His expedition heart wanted to go further and open up more of Africa to missions, and he wanted to run his own missions, and he went to Kolobeng near Gaborone, which is quite far from here, and that was his final mission station basically that he set up. That's the basic story. We'll see you later on. We spent last night at this lovely country lodge, Red Sands, with animals in it, little game park. Very reasonable, very well appointed. Had a lovely meal at the restaurant last night and for breakfast this morning. Lovely place to come, lovely stop on the way 15 k's east of Kuruman.
We've come across a lovely tree of sociable weaver nests. It's like living in an apartment block. I guess it has its advantages. When one mum has to go out and catch the food, the other mums are there to watch over the babies. Good idea.
We're just chuckling over this sociable weaver nest here, which has got hundreds of weavers in. Sometimes you get little pygmy falcons also coming in here. And this particular one looks like a horse or a camel or something like that. Amazing when you look at it closely. Look at that structure made over many years by these weavers.
Here we are just driving into
Boxspitz.
Boxspitz is the Botswanan side and Gemsbok is the South African side. This is the border post that is open at Kalahari. We've had to come this way because a lot of the borders are closed, especially McCarthy's Rest, which is the main border. It's quite tricky to find a convenient way at the moment into Botswana.
This is what happens if your car breaks down in the middle of a national park. It gets towed and probably cost you 5,000-6,000 rand to get it out of there, if not more.
We've just left Tuirefieren after a lovely night there, and we're travelling up through to Nossob. Just watching some wildebeest having such fun. They've been running around making a huge dust cloud, just skittish and having fun in the early fresh morning. Beautiful Gemsbok, just soaking up the sun. Look at the wind blowing through his feathers. What a beautiful shot. It's absolutely stock still. Looks like an Indian chief. Red hartebeest with the Gemsbok in the background.
I think that's a pale chanting goshawk.
Beautiful.
Here we had a lovely little pan with the Gemsbok running in, disturbing all the ostrich that are there.
On the Mabusa-Hubi Road, we've hit our first problem. We've tried one way, we're trying the other now. It's tough. We've had to reverse down. Oops, once, well done. Jeez, Rory.
Where's the thing?
Well done, that's it. That's our baddie up there. Charge. Well done, little caravan. Yes, so we're going to get up to the top. Yes, we can do it. Flipping amazing. Whoop. Over the top.
Here we are after a 3.5-hour drive, 96 kilometers on a really rough road, sandy Kalahari sand. We've arrived safely, no breakdowns. I don't think there's any damage to the springs. And this is Matopi 2 campsite. We're wild. There's not a whole lot else here. Still haven't seen a lot of game, so that's our worry. Is it just wild and beautiful, or is there game here? Okay, we've been here 15 minutes, fire's going, drinks are out, and we're relaxing finally after a long day's driving from Tuirefieren all the way up here to Matopo 2. This is a crimson-breasted shrike.
We hit a massive bump. You see, you can't see anything on these sandy roads. And there's like a huge double divot hidden in here. The jerry can came off the back of the caravan, but fortunately we saw it. We drove straight through this thick bit and then walked around and realized it was missing. So we've come back and we're going to put it back on. This road just goes on and on and on, and you just swap your way around your different rutted bits of sand you want to go on. We've travelled a very long and very hard day to get to Kung. And there's Kung's kitchen with, I think, maybe the chicken we're going to have for dinner running past the gate. We think we might move on and find somewhere to camp along the cutline into central Kalahari. This is the road we're travelling along, and we have just seen this. Go a bit further forward.
That's a cutline.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
And do you think that's
Yeah,
also a cutline?
yeah.
Oh, it could be the same cutline. So we are going to go down. There's no sign at all.
We found a cutline.
But we think we have found the cutline just off the main road. Let's see where this takes us. So the adventures continue. This looks like this is the cutline. Yes, it's only going the one way. See, Rory? It's only going left, which makes sense to us.
Everything on our right now is central Kalahari. There's a cutline.
This cutline here, we found the next cutline. It's just a line on the map. We found the other cutline going up the side of central Kalahari, and we've just decided to stop in this nice little place. We've come, I'm going to show you, that's the road we've come from. It's the road we'll go tomorrow. But for tonight, we've got our little setup.